Hello guys, we're going to install Windows 10 via VirtualBox. Let us start by clicking the new button on it. Then we'll pick a name for the VirtualBox machine as well as the type of the version. You'll be able to choose between a 32-bit and 64-bit installation, but I advise you to stick with a 32-bit if you don't have a lot of RAM storage. On the next screen, you will have the chance to configure how much RAM you will that while the virtual machine is allowed to use the default storage is 1 gigabyte, which is the minimum amount for Windows 10, but I went ahead and give it a double of the amount for the sake of my performance. Then the next step, we will configure the hard drive. You will have to create a new virtual hard drive disk, assuming that you don't have one created previously, and then you can leave the next two screens at their default settings since they work just fine with the new OS. I highly advise you to stick with a dynamically allocated virtual hard disk since you save a lot of space and won't impair the virtual machine performance that much. At the final virtual hard disk screen, you will be able to change the location of the drive as well as the size. I left you in mind with the defaults, and you can also do as well. After clicking the create button, you will be able to see your created virtual machine, but we are not done just yet. We are going to show the VirtualBox the path to our Windows 10 ISO file, and begin by clicking on the settings button. Navigate to the storage category and click on the empty DVD drive on the storage tree. From there, click the small disk icon on the attributes to mount an ISO file, and navigate your ISO file location and double click on it, and afterwards press OK to confirm the changes and exit from the VirtualBox settings. And once you are ready to install Windows, select your VirtualBox machine and click on the Start button.
Right after pressing start, the Windows 10 will start to boot up and the Windows setup will show. Choose your preferred language and time and currency format. For us, we will choose Filipino as our time and currency format, and then click next. After clicking next, a prompt will show asking for your product key. If you have one, you can enter it in the box, but for our case, we will skip since we are only showing this for the tutorial. Depending on what ISO file you used, we will have different choices, and here we will select Windows 10 Pro and click next. As always, we will read the terms and check the box stating I accept the license terms, then hit next. Since we are installing a fresh OS, I recommend you to select Custom, install Windows only, so that we can allocate our OS to an empty fresh virtual drive. Select the unallocated drive and click next. At this part right here, we will wait until everything in the list are checked. After that, Windows will automatically restart within 10 seconds, or you can just click restart now. After restarting, the Windows 10 logo will start to boot up, and we will have to wait until Windows is done configuring your installation. A while after, a window will show up asking for your product key. Again, you can use your product key if you have one, but for our video, we'll do this later. Next window, just click the Use Express Settings button. Wait for a while for Windows to finish everything up, and this might take a while so you can do other things while waiting. We will have to fast forward for a bit. After a while, a Windows will show up. Select depending on your own use, and then click Next. Then create your PC account. Finally, after a lot of waiting, we have our Windows 10 Pro installed and usable. After installing it, you should be able to fully use and abuse Windows 10 to find out if you like it or not. Thank you for watching our video, and goodbye.